Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Rufai. Good morning, Victoria Tundu and Kyo Abiola.
Good morning, Mr. Efeni.
Yes, let's start the review straight away with this day. Nigeria's newspaper of record. Yes, let me just start with the window story and we come down to the lead story. Clark, Ayu, a thoughtless partial leader should resign, declares Tambuwa's decision, arranged dishonorable, tragic betrayal. Says Peter Obi's position now vindicated. Yes, Ayu with the presidential ticket now in the hands of Atiku. The chairmanship of the PDP should come to the south. Any attempt by Ayu, Iyoshe Ayu, to sit tight, I'm sure many will want to resist within the PDP. Now, the lead story. Buhari meets governors, moves to choose successor, still consulting, says his candidate will give Nigerians sense of victory, confidence ahead of poll. Governors meeting deadlocked. National Working Committee members accuse Adamu of rendering body redundant, taking unilateral decisions. Yes, the President Muhammadu Buhari, just before he traveled yesterday, summoned, called, invited, pick whatever you want, the governors under the aegis of the APC to Aso Villa, where he told them in very clear terms, I am going to pick my successor. Just like you have picked your successors for those who have completed their 8-year, 2-term. And for those who are the first-term governors, they've got an automatic ticket. So now is the time for me to pick my successor with you supporting me. Clear, unambiguous language, the president speaking to the governors. Now, almost all the newspapers in Nigeria have this as a lead story. The Guardian newspaper, Buhari's choice of presidential candidate unsettles APC governors. President seeks to take charge in selecting party flag bearer jets off to Spain. Governors begin deliberations after meeting Buhari. Now, the Daily Trust newspaper, Buhari woos APC governors over choice of successor. Move, not president's agenda, sources. While he allows many contenders to compete, Yerima, president can't force own choice on Nigeria, civil society organization. Yes, what the president is doing is to pick the APC flag bearer. It's up to Nigerians to decide whether that flag bearer will be the choice of the people. And at the appropriate time, at the general election, Nigerians will decide. It doesn't matter who the president is going to pick. But there's a story, the front page of Daily Trust, I would not like to miss. Chief Justice of Nigeria's sons win APC, PDP tickets for National Assembly seats. Yes, one of the sons has picked the senatorial seat, while the other picked a ticket of the House to go to the House of Representatives from two different political parties. So you wouldn't say perhaps it's the influence of their father. But interestingly, one of the sons defeated Senator Bokachua, elder statesman who has just appeared on this program. In fact, Senator Bokachua scored 0 votes in that primaries in Bauchi State. So, good one for the sons of the Chief Justice of Nigeria. It's like they don't want to follow their father's footsteps in the judiciary. Yes, for those who like to call out the sons of prominent Nigerians who follow their father's footsteps, especially in politics, Well, this looks different, Tundu. Now, let's just continue. I'll come back to you, Tundu, and Ruben Rufai. Now, the Daily Sun reporting this story. Buhari-based governors gives hint of preferred successor. Vanguard newspaper also reporting this story. Buhari's sucker punch to APC governors. I'll pick my successor. Now, above the masthead ban, Lagos deploys 600-man anti-Okada enforcement squad. Yes, you need to be ready if you want to enforce law that has to do with banning Okada in certain parts of the state. Because those guys are wild. They even pursue and hack down a policeman some time ago in this Lagos. Now, the Daily Independent newspaper, APC governors settle for northern candidate. Focus on Ahmed Sani Yerima Ahmed Lawan. Fear no southern candidate may beat Atiku. That is their thinking according to the Independent newspaper. Now, the Punch newspaper, presidency search for a strong consensus candidate. Buhari directs APC governors. Now, above the masthead, kidnappers showed us decomposing bodies. Church paid 100 million naira ransom. The Methodist prelate. That's the country we have. These terrorists can demand 100 million and they will get, as in this case. And they're still roaming free. Now, another story above the Punch masthead, Buhari embarks on 8 foreign trips in 5 months. Now, somebody is counting those foreign trips for the president. Now, New Telegraph newspaper, 2023, allow me to choose my successor. And if we just look at the Business Day newspaper, debt service, Nigeria edges closer to Lebanon crisis as IMF sees debt service swallowing revenues by 2026. He who goes a borrowing goes a sorrowing. Now, the foreign newspapers quickly. The Times of London, ethics chief threatens to resign over no part number 10 parties. Yes, Lord Gates insists questions are legitimate. Yes, Lord Gates, the independent advisor on ministers' interest, said Johnson's breach of the law threatened to undermine the role and risk leaving the system open to ridicule. Well, that Partygate is not about to go away. Now, the Financial Times, EU-UK pact on insurance ban deal. Deal fresh blow to Russia, to Russian oil export. Yes, shippers to be shut out of Lloyd's of London. Added pressure on commodity markets. While the Wall Street Journal also reporting on the Russian war, divisions emerge over arming Ukraine. Bloc led by France, Germany questions need to ship Kiev long-range weapons. Of course, many of these countries fear that, of course, when you give Ukraine long-range weapons, you may just be prolonging the war. So how do they want the war to end? With Russia as the victor or what? Now, the president's decision. A few things I will just make. One, the president wants to pick a successor. Has he already picked this successor? Because he said long time ago he had somebody in mind. Is he still considering options? Where will he be looking to? Will he surprise all of us and just do what we've been expecting? Pick a southern candidate for the party. Or better still, look east and pick one of his friends, his latter-day friend Dave Umai, or his long-time associate, Ogboy Naya Onu, both of them from Ebonyi State. If President Buhari does that, we'll call him a hero. Ruben Rufai and Tundu.
We actually would, wouldn't we?
Okay, let's start with Chief Ike Clark's criticism of
Yoshi Ayu.
Senator Yoshi Ayu. Well, Chief Ike Clark will appear to be consistent in saying the presidency should come to the south. So he says Tambo has act of declaration for Atiku, and stepping down for him was an act of, was something untidy, as he put it. But the attack on Iyorchia Ayu, well, Iyorchia Ayu yesterday, we were criticizing him, saying, oh, why did he show bias by going to visit Tambuwal and calling him the hero of the convention? But if you look at it, the president has more or less done the same thing. So, which means that the point being made is that political parties, political leaders will do anything just for them to win the election. Because are you identifying with Tambuwal and the president saying that he has a consensus candidate? It's, you can place both on the same scale. However, what is important, whether this party chooses that person or the president says he has a consensus candidate, there is no guarantee that their choice will win the election. What should be protected by all the political leaders is the right of the Nigerian people to choose. It is the Nigerian people that must decide. And when we see a situation, with the review of the Electoral Act and the new Electoral 2022, that at the end of the day is the Nigerian people that decided. It will not matter whether one political leader, is biased or not, because each one of them has just one vote.
But there should be level playing field at the level of the party. That is internal democracy.
Yes.
But what we are saying,
no, but people have their
especially
own
interest. in APC,
people have their own interest.
They are throwing internal democracy overboard.
No, they can. Individuals can express. Individuals can express their own interest, but we have to focus more on the Nigerian people being the ones to make the choice. I would, beyond that, like to recommend the editorial today in this day. The editorial on the ban on Okada. The questions that I raised earlier are the same questions that have been raised in that editorial. The ban on commercial motorcycles take effect today in Lagos. The Lagos State government is saying...
In some areas, not everywhere.
In 6 local governments. The Lagos State government says there will be no chaos. They are assuring people. But the point of that editorial are the same points that we made earlier. That what are the alternatives? What has happened to the first mile and last mile initiative of the Lagos State government to ensure that people, particularly those living in the hinterlands, do not suffer unnecessarily because government has banned? And where are we with the transportation, the number one agenda on the Sanwo-Olu agenda? And with the Sanwo-Olu administration have the courage to stand up to these commercial motorcycles. Because we had the traffic law of 2022 amended in 2018, but nobody enforced it. Interesting developments in the UK. 28 MPs are prepared to do a letter of no confidence. If the number gets to 54, the 1922 committee will have to move in, and Prime Minister Boris Johnson will be toast. Thank you very much, Emmanuel Efe.